Awesome. Well, welcome everybody to the Mailbox Power Mastermind Builders Call. It's really a mastermind call where we all share ideas and learn from each other. We have learned so much from all of you. I know you're here to learn from us, but believe it or not, we have learned so much from all of you, just language. Marie, even talking to Lulu and some things Terry have said is go watch the trains. Go ahead, go with them for a second. Sorry about that, guys. The train movie probably stopped. So we've learned stuff from all of you and just language that you've used, and it's like a light bulb goes on in our heads, like, ooh, I hadn't thought about it that way. It's like a book study or anything else. How many times have you read a book and then you get into a book study and somebody says something and you go back and you read that paragraph or you read that chapter and you're like, I didn't get that at all from that. That's a totally new perspective. So I love these calls and that we can all learn from each other. And we were having a discussion before we hit the record button. So I'd like Lulu to share, because she was sharing about a new executive sign up yesterday. So we want to congratulate her on the recording and say congratulations. But you were talking about why you were able to sign up an executive yesterday. And let's start there, because I think your language, I know your language has changed when you've been talking to people, which has resulted in bigger accounts, which you are super thrilled about. And I know everybody else on this call wants to tap into those larger accounts. So share with us the sign up yesterday and kind of what made them decide on the executive.
Okay, so what I didn't tell you, and thank you for that. What I didn't tell you is that when I moved here to Pennsylvania and I was with another company, she was actually my first customer.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So she was used to the other way, the other business. And, as we've talked about, awesome. I'm grateful for it. Learned a lot, but this is really, Mailbox Power is really geared more toward business. So my language in presenting it has changed, but I had lost touch with her. They moved their business, and actually I saw her at a networking event about a month ago, and come to find out, after they moved their business, her husband died unexpectedly.
Ooh.
She was able to sell the business and it started over. She started over in November. So I ran into her at a networking event, and it was just lovely, and, talked a little bit and decided, let's get together. And I went to see her new office, and she said, I loved it, but it just wasn't, it was confusing. And I said, look, you're starting over. You're in business. You need people. Yes, some of your people came with you, but I've got a great way for you to reach out and really reach the people that need what you're offering. And I showed her the direct mail feature. I said, we didn't have this before. This is a game changer, and this is going to really help you grow your business. So I showed it to her, and she was like, yes, she's going to send some birthday cards or whatever, but she didn't even really care about the 200 free cards. She said, wait a minute, I can actually create, we built a fictitious mailing list because she wasn't a customer yet. And she was absolutely astonished. And what helped change me is what Michael said a couple of weeks ago. It's like, we have to get them, their businesses. They don't necessarily understand the touchy-feely good thing, like that part of it. Let's get them on the gravy train first. Let's get them with a system that's going to help them bring people in the door. Then we can start talking about all the other ways that they can reach out to people. And she already knew that from what she was doing before, but she didn't have this aspect of it, and she needs to grow, and she needs to grow quick. So
So
she got it.
if she needs to grow and she needs to grow quick, this is a mastermind, and we've talked about helping people with ideas using Mailbox Power to grow their business. So what type of a business is it?
She's got a functional medicine practice, and she has probably 6 or 7 different modalities that she uses. So we talked about just first maybe just introducing herself to the people that she's reaching out to. And she already has, like, she has an ad in Natural Awakenings magazine that highlights some of the modalities that she offers and so forth. So I said, if we want to get something out quick, we can probably just take that graphic and use that. Let's just get something out there right away, and then we can kind of backtrack a little bit and start, maybe you want to offer an introductory special or change of seasons. Here in Pennsylvania, I mean, people really struggle when the seasons change because we have such distinct seasons. So I said, maybe that's a touch for you. So I started giving her some ideas, and she was like, oh yeah, that's really good. So that's what I really love is being able to give people ideas on how to use it. So I'm meeting with her and her assistant tomorrow, and we're going to kind of get them up and running, and I'll show her around a little bit. And,
awesome. Does anybody have any ideas for Lulu that she can pass on, especially if she's meeting with her tomorrow? This is a prime time to give her some ideas so that she can share them with the client tomorrow. I saw you unmuted, Marie. Did you have an idea?
Well, just a thought, and it's the way Lulu just said something that made me think of it. What was the commercial, or what was the company that had the tagline, "Reach out and touch someone"? That was a tagline.
Wasn't that 18?
Yeah, I think it was Bell South. Or something like that.
One of the phone companies. So my point is, I'm reading a book right now by a woman by the name of Sam Horn, Horn. She's from the DC area originally. And it's an older book called Pop. And it's all about standing out from the crowd. And it's supposed to teach you how to create something like reach out and touch someone, or whatever's appropriate for your business. So I was just thinking, if you could help her come up with some kind of tagline, that would be extraordinarily helpful to her.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, we've got to figure that one out.
Yeah, maybe we can all mull on that during the call, and if we come up with something, we can let Lulu know. I know the first thing I was thinking of, Lulu, it's I'm working with a cosmetologist. She does facials, an esthetician, that's what I meant, not a cosmetologist. And she's using the mailings, and she's using the medium postcards, and she's reaching out to new people in the area. She's also reached out to people within 5 miles of her salon, and always put a coupon on it. She's always putting a coupon that is off your first treatment or off your first service. So you might want to do something like that.
Yeah.
And you may want to put on there, if this isn't for you, pass this on to a friend that could use it, and they can use the discount or something like that, so that it's can be passed on to, you put right in there, pass it on to a friend, family member, whoever they could use the service.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Or I know some massage therapists, and that will do an upgrade. So they won't necessarily discount the session, but like I have a massage therapist, and hot stones is extra, or there are some extras they do, which are add-ons so that they make more money, but it doesn't add any cost to them. So
Yep.
it's a huge value to the customer to get it, because it normally costs a lot extra to add that to it. So if she has some type of an add-on service that she could say would be free,
I like that.
with those would be my ideas.
I love that. I like that even more than offering an introductory special, because once, like, once you drop your pants, hard to pull them back up again.
Yep. Yep. But if you're offering them a bonus, like
Yeah.
something like hot stones, now they're hooked on it and they
I like
want
it.
to buy that extra.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. We're gonna go with that.
Awesome. Terry.
So,
Thank you.
I would suggest that she line up 3 touches right away, and she would have the same general picture, whatever logos and all, but emphasize something else, because that way you've got a different, and then have those automated right away so that they go out. And then if she gets any return cards, she could just, click those off of the, the next session, the next set going out, so that it's ready to go. And if she's got all the different modalities, you could, emphasize one of those, because you've got the front that you can do something on, and then the back of the postcard too. And especially the 5x8 ones can get a lot of information on there. You put a little map of where she's at too. And, and you could just say that card, you could put a sentence on, card valid to holder of the card, whether it's, it doesn't have to be the name. That way they know it. They should know that means, whoever puts the card in versus the name that's on it.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's a great idea. And I like the idea of putting a map on there.
Yeah, I do too. We have a personal injury attorney, and we put a map on it so that people could see they were really right there in the neighborhood, like right around the corner from them. It's a visual that's really good. Marie.
well, if she's willing to spend a little bit of money, I think I would suggest a postcard that says, like, how, I don't know if you want to say howdy, but you want to create the fact, the idea that we're neighbors, and we'd love to meet you. Stop in to say hello, and we've got a neighborly gift for you, because you want them in that door so that you have the opportunity to actually say hello.
I love
and
that
be a good
idea.
neighbor.
I love that idea too. Boy,
An
great
open,
ideas.
Open house, even where they're
Oh,
going to have
man.
refreshments and drinks. And she may even, I don't know if she's in a plaza where there's other businesses.
Yeah.
You could have those other businesses come in and offer drawing items and say, there's going to be free drawings for different things, or over $1,000 in drawings. Stop in for our open house and check us out and the other businesses in the area, something like that.
Wow. I really like
That would
that.
draw people in, and now you're collaborating with other businesses. So it's about helping each other, and the power of that for you is, if it works for her, they all might want to do the same thing and use the same service. And you could even say to her, because now you are a super affiliate, Lulu, is that if she gets the businesses as sponsors and they decide they want to use the same service, that they could use her sign up link for Mailbox Power so that it offsets her costs, and you could do the same with the other businesses. Because I think the quicker they get it for free, or the quicker they get their costs offset, the more they want to use it and less likely to quit.
Yep. Fantastic ideas.
Bob.
Yeah, just a couple of ideas. I had somebody one time who asked me how much free is. And of course, free is nothing. So you cautioned me against using the word free and said use the word complimentary.
Yep.
It's a much more attractive word. The other thing is that I think I've discovered that one postcard won't do it.
Yeah.
It's sometimes good to have a campaign of several postcards coming out in a fairly short order, because the first postcard they get in the mail, they'll ignore. The second one they'll sort of glance at, especially if it has the name on it. And the third one, they'll actually start to look at it. Feel like there's a third card I've got from these people. What is it? So it may take, several postcards before you can actually begin to make some traction with these folks.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I think it was a lunch and learn that Joe and Vanessa did, or it might have been a morning call. And Justin talked about it, but they had done some research and they found that it takes, well, we all know 7 to 12 touches, but they were seeing that as long as you sent at least 3, after you got past 3 touches, like Bob just said, that's where the ROI started getting higher, because it's about being seen and recognizing the brand, just like anything else. Why do people put signs on buses or benches or bus stops? It's because you see it all the time, and once you've seen it enough, it registers in your brain, oh, maybe I ought to go check them out. Or somebody says, I need a window washer or something like that, and you've seen the sign or you've seen something come in the mail and you're like, oh, I've been getting this stuff from a window washer. Here, I got a name for you.
Mm-hmm.
So good point, Bob. It does take, I tell people, and they say every 3 to 5 days is what the power is. That's where you're going to get the best return. Yeah, I don't think I've found a client yet that will do it every 3 to 5 days, but I have clients that will commit to weekly or bi-weekly. Do not recommend monthly. And the reason why is, you just said she's got to grow big quick. If you do monthly, it's going to take them a lot longer to recognize the brand. And so you're 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road to get a return, and you need her to get a return quicker than that.
Yep. Perfect. I love that. I'm making notes here.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Any other ideas?
I'm planning to do a similar thing. Maybe I could throw this out, where I've pivoted to a little bit different business, and I could do the lists. I haven't done any of that yet. I was going to do it with some of the other supportive businesses, the products that I offer through other, healthy things. And but I don't have a place where I don't have a storefront. So maybe I could list some meetings that I'm going to have. I hate to put them too far out, but to say we're going to meet at lunch at such and such restaurant on a date. Come see, this is a brand new technology, come to whatever, and I could call it an open house, because I've been struggling with what to call this. It's not a launch of a new product. It's a launch for something new for me, but it's not, I don't know. I don't like saying launch that much. So
yeah, no, I like the word open house, or I'm trying to think of the other word that I've seen people use before that's not open house. Meet and greet. And you can invite other businesses along. And yes, if you can put, I was going to say, Terry, because you don't have a storefront, I would go find a storefront that you can partner with that is not your competition, that's willing to collaborate with you, that could use your products and services, and then have something regularly there. We have here in Colorado Springs, there are a lot of, well, everywhere, there's a lot of network marketing companies, and there's a lot of doTERRA and Arbonne and Young Living, and those type of healthy living type of businesses. And we have a place here in Colorado Springs called Sacred Space, and it's kind of it's a place that has physicians and chiropractor and everything, and they have like a conference room there. It's more like a community room. Nice. And so they allow people like that to come in and do community events. And then the the location also then promotes it to everybody coming in, and they have a
Wow.
sign up in the in their office and that. So if you could find something similar in your area, and you may be able to partner with a few other health and wellness companies, because there's power in collaborating and working together, because when you do that, you all grow each other's business as long as you all have an abundance mindset. Because there is not, I have learned, and I think we've all learned, there is not, and I hope I'm not offending anyone, there is not one product that is the end all be all health and wellness product, and it's the only thing you're going to take. There
Right.
are,
Really?
really, we use several different ones combined together. And I know if you're in one of those industries, you're like, no, but we have everything from vitamins to this to that. There's so much power in collaborating together, because imagine it's very much like a BNI or a PepNet or a Master Networks or anything like that, is that if you have partnered with 10 people or 5 people, doesn't matter. I'm going to use 10 because it's an easy number. 10 people, and you all have an average of 250 to 350 contacts. So on the low end, by coming together, you have about 2,500 contacts instead of 250. There's power in the numbers, and it's exponential as you grow that group. Marie.
Wow.
So, Terry, I was going to suggest the unveiling of
Ooh.
or the big reveal, since that seems to be so popular these days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, because everybody likes new stuff. They're like, ooh, what's that? It's mystery, it's a mystery.
Okay.
Any other ideas? Well, let's talk about the mailing list, since we're kind of on this subject of marketing. And I know Bob had reached out to me yesterday about the mailing lists. And I know Casey talked about it on the Monday call. And we tend to, I even sometimes fall into this language, and I try not to use this, is targeted. Nobody likes to be targeted. So they're qualified leads, or just leads. By saying qualified leads, the person on the other side feels like they're a higher quality lead. And yes, we can get higher quality leads. And what I mean by higher quality leads is it's not like EDDM. So I did a Facebook Live, I think it was not this Monday, but the Monday before. So like the 12th, I think it was, or something like that, my Monday morning marketing Mondays. And I talked about EDDM versus using us. Well, EDDM, they're leads.
What is that? Is that a company that gives you leads?
Every door direct mail through the post office.
Okay.
And it's bulk mail. So it's what people consider cheap. Because per piece it's bulk rate, so you get it much less per person or per postcard. But I went out, because you can go to the US Post Office, go do your own research, go to EDDM and pretend you're going to buy a list in your area and see how many houses it is and how many will go out and what the cost will be. So with mine, I don't have it. Actually, I do have it in front of me. Give me just 1 second, because Mike texted it to me because I used it at my BNI. So EDDM in my area, or in our area, there were 5 postal routes around us that were basically a 2-mile radius, I think, around a 1 mile or 2 mile radius around our house. There were 4,024 mail pieces that would go out. So 4,024 households. The cost was going to be $752.49. So then I pretended that I was a dog groomer or something that a veterinarian or something that would have to do with dogs, and that you would want just dog owners. So I picked the exact same area using Mailbox Power, and I came up with, I put in pet owner. They had to be married, the female, so that the female was getting the mail, because I have learned that they tend to make the buying decisions. And then I did 0.7 miles around our house, which was the same as that 4,000. 276 people qualify as a dog owner. So it would cost me $26.08 to buy the list. And then let's say it's 300 postcards at 60 cents a piece. You're at $180. Even if you added the executive in for $199, you're still only at $380 versus $752. So I could mail twice to that same list, which is more likely to use my services. So that's the power of what we have. Now, does that mean they're qualified? Is a loose term. When I say qualified, it means they're in the demographics of the people that I can best serve, which is better than any lead. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
And Bob and I were talking about this yesterday, is that people are spending, and Casey talked about this. I mean, if you go rewatch, I want you to go, everybody, your homework is go rewatch at least twice, if not 3 times, the video that is Ian talking about the mailing list, which you have an affiliate link for, that takes you to the mailing list feature. And I want you to go listen to it, because it tells you the power of what we have, because most people are spending $10 or more per lead, and they aren't even necessarily qualified, like they're a dog owner. That, do you know what I'm saying? You're just looking for age when you're doing like Facebook and Google ads and that. You can't necessarily get down to the nitty-gritty demographics that we can. So I want you to go watch that, because I think if you watch that a few times, you're gonna be like, oh my God, our product is penny. Like we have a huge offering and we need to get the word out.
I agree. Where's that? I was there on that live call, but I haven't seen that I haven't watched it since then.
So
where is that?
Go to, let me pull it up. Mailbox Power.
It's in Mailbox Power?
Yeah, it's your affiliate link. Go to your affiliate area.
On your dashboard.
Yeah, it's on your dashboard, and
Oh.
there's a link, or there used to be. I haven't gone there recently.
All right. Well,
but there's a link for the mailing list feature, that you can just send people the link for the mailing list to talk about that, to sign up for Mailbox Power. Thank you.
That's the general version. Just replace it with your own username.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh.
Wait. So
It's
so
the
wait a
one
minute.
for realtors.
The one for realtors,
The
or
link that we have for realtors.
I also see one here that says the marketmailbox.com invite promotion, the referral link for list builder.
Yep.
And it actually
that's
has my name already on it. So
Yep.
Oh, so watch that. Okay,
Go
good.
watch the video on that page.
Good. Talking about targeting the mailing list, I have a guy that maybe I've spoken about him before. He has a business that I never thought, who knew, but he has a business where he goes and he scoops dog poop.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
didn't know that was a thing.
Yep.
But we built a mailing list and using the, all the demographics and the dog owner, and he has been overrun with customers. He's consistently been sending out postcards, and he's got more business than he can handle. He has had to hire people.
Awesome.
Get him to do a video.
Yes, I was going to say we need that video testimony, because it's funny you say that. My daughter was looking for a dog scooper pooper, and she had called one and they wouldn't do her yard because it was in rocks, and they said they won't do that. So there was a car in my neighborhood that said they did that. And I stopped and got their business card and sent it to my daughter, and that's who's doing their, so I would love that testimony, and I'll reach out to them and say, hey, yeah, I'd love that.
Goodness. Yeah, I'll reach out to him and see if he can do. I've asked him to do a video, but he's like, I'm so busy, I can't. I'll ask him again.
Even a written would be great.
Well, he's done that. He's done
Well,
that.
if you send it to me, I would love it.
Okay, I'll have to find that. It's on my Google page, I think.
Okay.
I don't know if it's really gets into the numbers, but I just know he's been telling everybody he's just overrun with business from doing those mailers.
Awesome. Bob.
Yeah, I was going to comment. I like the word qualified. It's much better than targeted. But there's also something about it that bothers me. That what we're really describing is that the lists are very well defined.
I like that.
Oh,
Yes.
love that.
I think that's a little more precise, because I don't consider these folks to be really qualified.
Right.
In the sense that they're, I don't know, there's a fine line here somewhere that I have. I think I'd like to prefer a term where they're well defined.
Yeah, I like
Say-
that. And I'm going to use that language, Bob, because I've had people say to me, because I guess there are services out there that provide qualified leads, meaning they know that the person has called and wanted a real estate agent or an insurance agent. And so they're qualified in that they know they're searching for it, and ours are not qualified in that manner.
Mortgage people who pre-qualify somebody to buy a house, so they know the parameters of what they can do.
Right.
That's qualification.
Yep.
And we're not really providing that, per se. So maybe you should define the deals better.
Yeah, I like
So
that.
on my end, Bob, you're very, very muffled on my end. I don't know if everybody's hearing that or
Yes.
not, but I did not understand the word that you said.
Well defined.
Well
Well
defined.
defined. Thank you. Well
Yeah.
defined.
Well-defined demographic or well-defined mailing list. Yeah, Josh.
Could you
go ahead,
share
Bob.
any of those statistics, Brenda, that you shared with your research? I can't get a hold of those numbers, and I need help them if I just start see them and look at them.
The pictures that talk about EDDM and hours, is that what you're asking?
No, your statistics about the research you did on the number of people you could reach, the cost of reaching them, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I can put, I'll send those images to you, Bob. I would recommend you go to the US Post Office and pick a business in your networking group and go pull the numbers if they did EDDM and what it would cost within, and you can say a 2-mile radius or whatever around their address, and then go into Mailbox Power and build the exact same list in the exact same area, and then put in the demographics that is their ideal client, and see what the difference is, because obviously
Wow.
every area is going to be a little bit different. And there are times when EDDM might make sense over hours, because if you're truly just trying to blanket the area and you don't want, I've had people come to me and say, well, I don't want to put any demographics in, I just want to pull an area. Well, I can help you with that. But really, if that's all you're doing, EDDM would be your best bet for that. So it just depends on what they're looking for. Most of the time, people want to narrow the focus down and not blast, not send to everybody. But there have been times I've met with people and they truly do just want to blast the area. And when that's the case, then EDDM might make sense. Josh.
Two-point thank Bob for helping me think of a word, because the one I thought of I had forgotten, but I thought of a different one. But another emotional word that would play really, really well is the word desirable. So desirable leads, comma, based on demographics that you select or of your choice. And then the other one, just related to EDDM, a response to that, if it's a discussion or what have you, is, and you can play on the ecological aspect of sending EDDM is sending a lot of garbage. A large percent of that's just going to go in the trash. So it's, you know, blanketing and sending it to everyone. I can't think of a use case where I would actually want to do that when I can, you know, spend less or the same money and reach people, the exact people I want to reach. I mean, that's open and shut, if you ask me.
Yeah, like I said, most people, it makes sense to use ours, but I have run into a few people that said, no, I don't want to put any demographics in. I just want a radius around. And then I'm like, well, ours is personalized, so you can put it on it. It is first class mail. It is going to cost you more to send it. You probably will get a better response rate, but the cost difference was huge. And for me, I'd rather have them do that and then use the extra money to do something that makes more sense with our system. So
can I ask a question related to that? What you're relating, Brenda? Are you is this conversation revolving around like a cold reach out, like with postcards?
Yeah.
That's interesting, because I don't know of any place other than us that you can send for the cost of postage only.
EDDM is like 19 cents a piece.
Oh, so it's okay. So it's less than postage.
It's way less because it's bulk mail,
right,
versus first class mail.
But that's the postage rate. But they still have to pay to have them printed, right?
The $7.54 was the printing and the sending.
Okay.
That was all in, from what I understand,
All
from
in,
what I could gather from the site, that was all inclusive. So
got it.
There have been a few times, and again, I said this, I think it was when Wendy interviewed us. We are not the end all be all. There are other marketing methods out there that might make more sense. And if it makes more sense for the customer economically or whatever it might be, I would much rather point them in the direction of the tool that is going to be best for them for what they need. Because if I do that and I save them money, they're going to come back to me and utilize our services most likely for the things that make sense to use our services for. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
So many people, and I've seen this over and over again with affiliates that are here in my area, and I've seen them because they're here local and they've asked me to go on meetings with them. It's been a long time, but pre-COVID, and I would hear, and they were trying to make Mailbox Power the solution for everything. And just like I said, if you're in a health and wellness company, it's not the solution for everything. And the more you push that it's the solution for everything, the more you're going to turn somebody off. And I say that because we've been on the receiving end, and we have tried some products that did not work for us. So we use a few products from that company, but not the ones that they say all the time, oh, but you should be. No, we already tried that. So we're using something, but no, the minute you start doing that, I'm completely turned off. So think about your own experience when somebody, might be used car salesman or whatever, is trying to, but you wanted $250 a month and a car payment, and I can get you $250 a month. It's just going to take you 8 years to pay it off. No, thank you. I mean, they do everything they can. They hang on to one word or one phrase or one thing that you need, and then they just try to structure it that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep. And I just
When I was young and silly, just after I came out of the Marine Corps, I sold cars for a while. The guy who was the sales manager, he was great friends with my mom. My mom used to be in radio sales, and she was the best radio advertising salesperson in small town, 20,000 people. And she was just up there all the time. But the one lesson that I learned is exactly what you're talking about, Brenda, and it was phrased to me like this. And Bob, you'll appreciate this. It was phrased to me like this: would you rather sell that person that you have to get to buy that car to make your goal this month one car, or would you rather build a great relationship and sell them 10 cars over 25 years?
Yep. That's the Joe Girard story.
Yep.
Yep. And I had a thought while you were talking, Brenda. If every door direct is good for some people, I would say to them, let's, go with that. And as that starts working for you, then perhaps we can incorporate Mailbox Power into your follow-up and relationship building and, so
Exactly.
forth and so on. So you never want to close that door. I would never want to put somebody where they don't belong.
Right.
To keep that door open.
Yep. And that's why I love Mailbox Power, is just a different philosophy. And I don't feel like I am trying to put a square peg in a round hole all the time.
Yeah.
And the more I can take the round peg and put it in the round hole, and when it's square, give them a different solution that then starts trimming the edges to make it round so that it goes in the round hole, the better.
Yep.
So this has been a great discussion. Any other ideas or any other challenges with the list builder or sharing Mailbox Power, and that we are a marketing platform versus we can be a client nurturing platform. Don't get me wrong. The difference is we are an automated client nurturing system, which many other companies are not. Sure, you can semi-automate it, but the biggest example that I like to use is birthdays. I set up a birthday automation. I add somebody to it, and for eternity, they are getting a birthday card from me. I don't have to remember every year to go in and tell the system to send the birthday card again.
Love it.
That's the difference between us and some other systems, is that we are truly automated, and we can put that follow-up on automation more so than some of the other companies that are out there.
I have one quick question. How often is the information in the list builder updated? Do we know?
That's a really good question, Lulu. They say that it is, if you read the fine print, and I think Justin has said this, it is 90% accurate for 30 days, I believe. I believe it's every 30 to 60 days. I would think at most it's updated every 60 days. But I also know, and you're going to run into this, I can promise you, because I have had it happen a gazillion, well, maybe not a gazillion, a lot. Somebody buys a list on the list builder and they send a bunch out and they get a bunch back. Perfect example, the lawyer that used our service and sent out almost 12,000 postcards. He's like, oh my God, Brenda, we're getting so many back. We added it up. He got about 1,000 back. That is a lot, but that's 90.
Less than 10%.
Yeah, that's it. And it might have ended up in the end being more than that. But even if it's, you get 20 or 30% back, I want to say, even if you got 50% of them back, you are still getting a better return than other methods of leads. The key is, and Bob and I talked about this yesterday, is if people don't understand that, you're talking to the wrong clients. If people are already doing EDDM, they're already doing any kind of postcard mailing, they're using, you know, some of our competition, Postcard Mania, I'm trying to remember, Direct Mail 2.0, there's a few others, and Justin has talked about them. If they're using their services, they're already seeing the value of showing up in a mailbox, or if they're showing up in a Veil Pack or a Quality Connections magazine that comes to the homeowners, they understand the power of showing up in the mailbox. Those are the clients you want to talk to, because the person who does Veil Pack, they don't even see that 90% of the people threw the package in the garbage before they ever even opened it up and looked at their ad. At least with us, and we're less expensive, 90% of the people are at least going to look at it before they throw it in the trash. In other words, they see the information as they are tossing it out, versus Quality Magazine, Quality Connections, the other ones, they don't even necessarily see their ad before it's thrown in the trash. So
Yeah.
that's the value of what we have.
And I love the fact that it goes out first class mail, so they get it back. And now I can scratch that person off the list and not waste my time or money.
Yep. Yeah, EDDM.
You don't know.
You don't know. They're just gonna keep going. You're gonna keep spending the money. Bob, I think you were gonna comment. No? Okay. Well, this has been a great discussion, and I think this is a great place to end the call this week, unless somebody has something burning that they wanted to add to the conversation. Nope. Awesome. Well, hopefully this was valuable, and take the information that you learned tonight and go talk to at least one. Try to talk to 2 or 3 businesses in the next week about what we offer. Even if it's, and this might sound weird, go to the grocery store, go to Starbucks, go to a coffee shop, and there's always a bulletin board with business cards on it. Go grab, if you're not going to a networking group and you're not going to have 3 people that you could talk to this week, go grab at least 3 business cards or 5 business cards off of one of those bulletin boards, because obviously they're on there because they need more business. They're trying to get the word out. And so you could pick up the phone and call them. I know that could be outside of somebody's comfort zone. Mike, the first time he did it, was like, I don't know. And then he did it and he's like, this is easier than talking to somebody that I do know, because you're disconnected from the outcome. If it's a friend or somebody you know in business and have known a while, you can get more attached to the outcome. If it's truly a cold call, you don't care what they say. So go find 3 to 5 people and talk about the list builder this week and use some of the language you learned tonight on the call. And I'm curious to see if that will generate any business for any of you this week.
Great.
Awesome. And we want to hear, Lulu, how it goes with your new executive. So you'll have to keep us posted.
Thank you. I will. Appreciate
Be
it.
sure to
all.
remind her that to get a consultation because they get the free concierge to
Yes.
set that up so
Yes.
that
Yep.
you're not tied up a lot. Okay, gotta go.
Yeah,
Thank you so
yeah.
much, Brenda.
Thank
Thanks
you.
everybody.
Josh.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you, Bob, Marie,
Yep.
Bye.
Did you have
and
something, Josh? You're
again.
muted.
Kind
Mhm.
of
Good night.
it's tangentially related, and you don't have to stay if you need to go. But I'm working on something here locally that I'm actually using Mailbox Power to kind of build and start to reach out. I've produced a new walking food tour here in Tokyo, and I've just created a new landing page just to get people to get a little lead magnet and opt in. And I would be very, very grateful if any of you have a moment to look at this. You can even opt in and download the PDF. It's just a little guide that's of things to see and do in Tokyo. And if you know anybody that's interested in traveling to Japan, this is live and it's ready. I'm just building interest right now. And then I'm going to switch it over and actually put a shopping cart and start selling this tour. But I just put a little page together, and then I'll be able to send people a postcard or something and say, hey, what have you, as also as an exposure to Mailbox Power. And it's my own use of Mailbox Power for my own business, but I'm just getting it going. So I'd appreciate any feedback, or if you have a look at it and see what you think and let me know. I really appreciate it. It's completely separate, but somewhat connected.
No worries. Well,
Nope.
thanks for sharing. And
Where are you listing it at? Where do you want us to look?
It's in
I
the
put the link
chat.
in the chat. It's personaltokyo.tours.
Oh, I don't see the chat. Okay, I didn't. My
Yeah,
chat disappeared.
personaltokyo.tours.
Oh,
There it
okay.
is. Okay. Okay, thanks.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, great. Good luck with
Thank you,
that.
Brenda.
Sounds
Awesome.
good.
Have a great week, everyone, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.